Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I had a subscriber ask a question, which I'll flip in here. And he basically asked, what is the best way to undermine the supplement industry? So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, do a little bit of crafting, and let's talk about this. Now that's an interesting question. A lot of you would ask, why would anyone want to undermine the supplement industry? Well, simply put, the entire fitness world, and particularly the online fitness world, and the people involved in it would be better off if the entire supplement industry did not exist. They are a cancer to this community. And I am not anti-capitalist by any means. I am extremely pro-capitalist. I, however, believe that consumers have a right and an obligation to regulate businesses with their money, with their opinions, with their buying power. And I believe when an entire industry does nothing but produce garbage and crap and basically hustle and con people, that the consumers in that area really need to step up and do something about it and be vocal about it. That's why we have things like Consumer Reports out there. And Consumer Reports has ripped on major supplement companies pretty hard already. They've shown problems with them. But that's how capitalism is supposed to work. It's supposed to work on the fact that people who produce garbage products, and if an entire industry, because of its very nature, produces nothing but garbage, then it should go under. If those businesses should go under because they're garbage companies with bad ethics that produce bad products, they should cease to exist in a proper capitalist system. And we do that by pointing those things out. And the truth is, as I've said before, the supplement industry, outside of just filling dietary niches, cannot legally produce anything of value. And it's because the things that they are trying to produce products to market to people are areas that are reserved for drugs. And so they pretend that these things do the same thing that drugs do, but if they're proven to do so, they become regulated because they are drugs. If they help you build muscle, if a product is independently proven to help you build muscle, it is going to get banned and regulated because it is a drug. Again, outside of its food values. And that's the difference. You have to remember, anything that a supplement's going to do to put muscle on you is going to be no different than eating steak and oats is going to do. Okay? It's not going to have any magical benefits beyond that unless it's got a drug in it. And once that drug is found, obviously companies are going to come in and regulate it and treat it like drugs. The supplement industry is not the pharmaceutical industry. So when they attempt to replicate those things, they're generally lying to you and conning you. Over-the-counter products beyond their food values do not build muscle or burn fat. That's what drugs do. And that's important to remember, and it's important to remind people of that. And you need to remind people that when a lot of this stuff is independently studied, it's all worthless. There's no safety controls in place. Remind people of this. Tell people this. Let people know, all of you out there who've made gains over the years without using any supplements, that you don't need supplements for any of that. They're there to fill a niche if you have a bad diet. That's all they can do for you. And you know what? I would rather give my money to people who grow quality food. How's that? That's what all of us can do. Stop buying supplements. Take your money, spend it elsewhere, and advise other people to do that. The supplement industry goes under when people stop spending money with it. It's very simple. Instead of taking your money and buying supplements, go buy quality food. Reward the farmers and ranchers and food producers that produce all these anabolic, healthy foods out there, that if you consume more of the right foods, supplements would become completely worthless even for fixing dietary niches, for filling dietary deficiencies. The only reason people don't even use them at all is because they have bad diets. Let's promote good diets and balanced diets and people getting enough of everything that they need from whole foods so that supplements become obsolete. Let's promote health and fitness instead of taking a stupid ass pill or powder. And again, it's important to remind people of this, to remind people this stuff is unproven, and if it is proven to work, it becomes banned because it's a drug. Only drugs produce the type of results these companies promise out of their products. Furthermore, it's important that we jump all over the fake natty thing, because fake natties are the #1 way in which this industry promotes their products. Because people who use drugs, oftentimes very genetically gifted, and use a lot of drugs, use their physiques and their performance to sell these products to show that they have drug-like effects while claiming not to use these drugs. And that's the biggest marketing tool by this industry to young men. And so if we continually point out the fake natties, that undermines the industry more than anything else. And all of you can do that. All of you have the ability to go call out these fake natties all the time. You have the ability to promote that and remind people that they are fake natties. And to tell people not to buy this garbage. Same thing, if enough of you go and tell your gyms, you're not big on supplements and ask them to take them off the front counter, maybe they will. That might be pushing it a bit, because we're going to need the industry to be pushed down further before they stop doing that. Because a lot of gyms, unfortunately, it's hard to make money in the gym industry. It really is. So a lot of them really need those supplement sales in order to stay in business. And that's unfortunate. And a lot of that's because a lot of these gyms need so many expensive machines because people don't know how to train, that they have a higher overhead as a result of bad training ideas out there. If a lot of those ideas were removed and people just trained more effectively with simple equipment, gyms could stay in business either without pushing this stuff. So it really becomes hard to do it at that level. And I do feel bad for the fact that people who start gyms have to sometimes push supplements to stay into business and to make a profit. And that's unfortunate, because gyms themselves, just by creating a training environment and equipment for you to train with, provide such a valuable and invaluable service. And it's unfortunate that it happens. Maybe the solution there would be for good gyms, create a good environment to charge a little more and people to be willing to pay that in order to keep them in business, so that they don't have to sell supplements. And I would be okay with that, but a lot of people wouldn't. But when you think about it, paying for a good gym is worth it. I mean, seriously, a lot of people go to Planet Fitness or something if they want a really cheap gym. But, having access to gyms that have things like deadlift platforms, bumper plates, Texas deadlift bars, power racks, all the really good stuff should be worth a little more. And I think people who are serious about their training would be willing to pay a little more for that. I mean, I know I am. And I know that I'm happy to do so. And I think most of us would too, people who are serious about their training. So the whole idea there is, of course, to get people pushed in the right direction and let people know that it's all about just a good diet to get everything that you would get out of supplements. And again, supplements only even started to exist because of bad diets and perceived dietary deficiencies. And then the whole muscle building and bodybuilding world got involved. And it created a big nightmare of false advertising, false expectations, and everything else. And again, to the point to where not only do they make false claims, but they start spiking drugs and dangerous stuff and everything else in these products. And again, best thing you can do there is to remind people over and over and over, these products are unproven for the most part. Even their safety is unproven. And that becomes a really big deal. And that's why the FDA gets involved, because drugs have to have millions of dollars of studies done to show that they are safe before they're released on the market, or at least an honest risk put on there so they could put all the side effects. When's the last time you bought a supplement and you got a list of deadly, scary-ass side effects written on the bottle? Why? Because it's not regulated the same way that the drug industry is. And yet they try to claim drug-like effects without all the drug-like side effects listed. And that's the funny part. And they don't have to, because not only are their products not proven to work, all the side effects don't have to be researched before they release them either. So they don't have to put the same warnings on there. And I would say, and gosh, I'm really reluctant to do this because I don't like government oversight over things. I'm not a big fan of big government at all. But given the claims of the supplement industry and the sort of claims that it makes all the time, if we simply threw it under the FDA's watch and said, okay, supplements have to meet the same requirements that drug companies do to release their products, that would be the end of the supplement industry. It would just go away immediately. And a lot of people would say, well, that would be expanding the FDA largely. That would cost a lot of money. Yeah, it would, unfortunately, and that's the downside to it. It would expand big government, which I generally view as a negative thing. The only upside is that would go away pretty quickly, because the whole supplement industry would go bankrupt. It wouldn't be able to stay in business for 6 months. It would be over, and then in theory that would shrink back down. I don't know if that's a viable method though, just because again, We don't need to create more government oversight. It isn't necessary. But that would be a last resort. Although, I don't know. A lot of people have proposed that. That might actually be the best way to undermine the supplement industry and make its garbage go away. But that, of course, would have some negative side effects as well in terms of taxation, expensive government, all of that. So maybe the best approach is the grassroots movement for all of us to just continue to push this and remind everyone, make YouTube videos. Remind everyone that the supplement industry produces nothing but garbage. That's not even proven to be safe, never proven to work, and it doesn't do anything for you compared to the price tag that's on it. That they charge as much for it as actual anabolic drugs cost, but most of the time it does nothing of value, and in the worst cases it gives you negative side effects or is actually dangerous. You guys know what I mean, everything from gas and diarrhea and bloating to headaches to even addiction. And in some cases they could kill you, because again, meth analogs and stuff get found in these pre-workouts. So again, I think the grassroots movement is the way to go, and stop supporting people who push supplements. Ask your favorite YouTubers, your favorite people you follow for advice online. Ask them repeatedly to stop pimping supplements. That's how you do it. Tell them you're going to quit watching them or quit reading their stuff, reading their blogs, watching their videos if they continue to promote these garbage products. And that's how you do it. You kick out their advertising. You get rid of their advertising. The people who are helping sell this stuff, by letting them know that you're going to cut into their profits if they don't quit. Maybe that would work. And that would be the other way as well, because again, YouTubers, bloggers, people like that who make their living doing those things, they do listen to their audience. As long as they know their audience is serious and not just trolling them, they really do listen. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.